Well, back again. It's War Daddy. Coming to you again from the dungeon. The bunker. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about our Nobel Peace Prize winning President of the good old US of A. And I'd like to talk about how Obama, the great Obama, the savior of the minorities and the savior of the world, correlates with a new world order. I have some new information I posted on Facebook. It's an interesting story. My wife found it for me about how the H1N1 virus was there was an archaeological dig up in Alaska where they found the tribes that had contracted the virus. They tried and tried with no success, and then they continued to try, and finally, upon a large donation to the tribal board of directors, whatever the hell they were, a large donation, they allowed them to dig once again in the sacred burial ground of their ancestors. Well, this time they found one corpse of a lady that still had usable DNA that contained the virus. The CIA was involved. They transported this lady and they chopped her into small pieces and distributed her to different laboratories around the United States. And that's when H1N1 and the rest of the H1 numbers of all the viruses were laboratory grown. They were born in the laboratory, and they were weaponized in the laboratories of the United States. So when they say that the H1N1 came from overseas, or it didn't come from any swines, it didn't come from a bird, it came from the good old US of A government, back with the CIA and the scientists that grew it, weaponized it so it could be unleashed on us. So rest assured, this last little H1N1 virus craze with the vaccinations and all the hoopla, you see how it's dying down slowly now, but it's nothing but a trial run for martial law. So just be prepared, because there will be more to come. This story will be continued, and it's really it's the same old song and dance. Anybody that lined up to get a goddamn vaccination from the government because the Channel 3 News and fucking CNN told you to rush out and get a vaccination, it's safe. What planet do you live on, buddy? You must be a fucking moron. If you want to go out and line up and get the damn H1N1 virus vaccination, you might as well line up in line to get AIDS injected. There's no vaccination. If it is a vaccination, do you think they're going to give it to you? No, they want to give you the virus, which is probably what was in the vaccination anyway. So it's just a trial run for another phase of martial law, because that's the first thing that they're going to try, and they're going to see who will conform and who won't. And now we got our government. They have an inquiry into the Federal Reserve. They're giving the Fed chairman a hard time. I watched some of it, and I was actually kind of impressed with some of the questions he got. Geithner is not. He wasn't enjoying himself up there. The Jew looked a little squirrely. I'm glad to see somebody's finally getting tough on the Federal Reserve Bank. But you better be careful, because Kennedy got tough on him. He enacted a presidential mandate. It was an executive order signed by Kennedy to effectively eliminate the Federal Reserve. Well, I don't know if anyone knows about it, but it's a pretty interesting story. And not long after that, Mr. Kennedy was assassinated. So everybody can come up with all they want about the CIA, whoever, but I can assure you one thing: when he did the speech on the secret societies and drafted legislature to do away with the Federal Reserve Bank, he signed his death warrant. The Jews will not allow any threat to their power and their greed. And it's pretty simple. When the Federal Reserve Bank is not a government entity, nor is it regulated or audited. They are without they have to account to no one. Meantime, they're in control of our money, and they got all the power in their hands, and everyone bows down to them for whatever reason. Obama, he bows down to him, just like every other president. We need to get rid of the Federal Reserve. I doubt it'll ever happen. They're woven in like they're like a tick or a leech. They're just going to suck the blood right out of the American people. They're tyrants. Simple as that. And they're put in a position where they're untouchable. You don't even know who they are. They remain anonymous. And it's a damn good thing you can't find out who they are, because I doubt that they would be very well received. As some of the people that I've encountered on YouTube, I'm sure would have an issue with them as well as I would. But I'm really not going to go out and perpetrate anything like Timothy McVeigh or anything like that for the masses, because I'm not about protecting or I'm not a martyr. All I am going to protect is me and my own and my family. The rest, anybody that wants to join forces, that's great. But as far as the masses goes, that ain't my problem what happens to the masses. I'm not out to save the world. As a matter of fact, for most of the people in the United States, they're so lost, they won't even know what hit them until it's over. I wouldn't waste my breath trying to save them or convince them of anything, because they don't know shit and they ain't gonna listen to shit. They won't agree on nothing, and they're walking around blind. So who gives a damn what happens to them? I figure if you make your bed, you'll lay in it, and it might not be a good night's sleep, buddy, and that's not my problem. The only problem that I got is how to survive in the meantime until all this shit happens, and just wait and see. One day it will. And our fearless leader has just announced the 30,000 more troops to Afghan. He's on TV doing a speech like as if he were a real commander-in-chief. He has bought into this bullshit in his own head, just like everybody else, that he is a legitimate president. I hate to just say harp on Obama all the time, but he makes it too easy. He's not the commander-in-chief. It's pitiful. It's a shame. It makes me ashamed. Hey, look, I'm not worthy of being president or commander-in-chief. I've never did military service, and I honor anyone that does. But if you think that if I were a soldier, that I would feel very good about Obama announcing that he's going to send me over to Afghan to fight, and he's going to take me away from my family to send me over to a fucking pointless war that's been going on for fucking ever now. We could have already annihilated them. We could have wiped the country off the face of the map, but no. We're just going to play around so they can continue their little war games and make all their money, all the corporate greedmongers. And Obama, he's on board for it. He goes over to China, bows to the Chinese emperor. He bowed to the Saudi prince. That's what he does. He bows down. He is in their service. And the funny thing is the Chinese emperor, he holds more American debt than any other country. We're in debt to communists. We're the most in debt to the communists, Chinese, and it's pretty funny how America they lose their big moral standard when it comes down to needing money, because the government, just like any other whore, they'll do anything for money that they can get. There's like a drug addicted addict, whatever they have to do to get their demon, they will, and their demon's money. They need it bad, and so he'll go over and he'll bow down. He'll kiss his ass. It doesn't matter. You promise him the world, fly back over here with a few billion, add it to our tab for the American taxpayer to pay off. That's all it's about. Saudi's the same way. And we got 3 more years of this clown, so it's gonna be a long, hard road, buddy. I know myself. I'm not very supportive of his policies, because I'm not a liberal, nor am I a Republican. I'm an army of one. I don't even support the bullshit, but I do not bow to an emperor, a Saudi prince, or no other motherfucker walking in flesh. So, War Daddy out for now. I'll be